Feeling fatigued and looking to boost your recovery after a hard workout?
Sure.
We have a doctor's shot of health to help. All right, I have this concoction. Docs have a sip. They do not know what is in this.
Cheers.
4 ingredients.
Cheers.
I'm so bad at guessing.
That was a hell of a workout, you two.
Each ingredient has a purpose, not only in adding taste, but in muscle recovery.
I'm so bad at this.
I taste ginger, for sure.
Ginger, I agree.
There is ginger. Now that you mention it.
It does have ginger. Good job. Ginger, anti-inflammatory, great. Love that one. Okay.
Orange?
No.
Almost tastes like,
Pomegranate?
Isn't it tasty?
Pomegranate?
Pomegranate?
No pomegranate.
how about strawberry?
No strawberry.
Cranberry.
Or maybe it's cranberry.
Turmeric?
And I gotta tell you, the reason that it's the combination of ingredients is gonna fool you all.
Turmeric, lemon.
You guys, okay,
I
I'm
think
gonna.
there's some coconut in here too, isn't there?
Pineapple.
So it's pineapple juice combined with tart cherry juice. That's why that combo together, it's almost like you're combining the tart cherry juice combines with the pineapple juice to taste lovely. But the bromelain in the pineapple juice, another great anti-inflammatory, and we all know tart cherry juice is great after workouts, but when you combine it with the pineapple juice, isn't it a really nice,
It's nice.
balanced
It is
flavor?
fun.
Yeah.
And then
But not
cinnamon
too
is
tart.
known to balance your insulin levels, your blood glucose levels, so it's a perfect drink. Looking to de-stress and boost your mood in a healthy, natural way? Well, that's what today's doctor's prescription is all about. 3 foods with the very important but often overlooked vitamin B6. Well, we're out of time. We're not going to be able to share those. Okay, well, just kidding. We're not going to do that to you. Salmon, chickpeas, and carrots. Each of these foods packed with vitamin B6, essential for proper brain development in kids and brain function in people of all ages. B6 helps the body make serotonin. That helps regulate your mood, as well as norepinephrine. That helps your body cope with stress. It also helps the body make melatonin. We know that can help regulate your internal clock and your sleep. Bonus, salmon full of protein and omega-3 fatty acids. Chickpeas, I love chickpeas. Excellent plant-based protein source. Carrots, we know, loaded with vitamin A. What is not to like? And if you want to sort of add these all together, you can use the chickpeas to make some hummus, dip the carrots in there as a little appetizer before your salmon-based dinner.
What's up, Doc?
Drew wants a little carrot. There you go, buddy.
What's up, Doc?
If you have the blues, our doctor's prescription can be your secret to feeling a little less sad. A new study found that imagining sadness as a person can make the emotion feel a little less intense. And this is really cool. It was published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology, inspired by the Pixar movie Inside Out, which showed 5 bickering emotions that came to life inside a girl's head. And the sadness had blue skin, blue hair, slumped posture, and an urge to cry. And during that study, they asked 114 people to think about a time when they felt really sad, maybe after the death of a loved one. The researchers then randomly assigned half of them to write down what kind of person their sadness would be like if it came to life. The results showed that those who thought about their sorrow as a person reported feeling less intense sadness than the other participants.
Yes, this is actually...
Like personifying it works.
Right, and see, this is why it works. This is actually an evidence-based technique that I often teach my patients. It's about externalizing the emotion. When the emotion is inside your head, it feels amorphous, it feels like it's going on and on. But when you externalize it, whether it is imagining as a person or even just an object in front of you, all of a sudden it has physical boundaries and you feel like you can deal with it. So when you see it as something separate of yourself, it really does help you to process that emotion a bit better.
You probably know that running can be really good for your health, but did you know that running, even just once a week, may cut your risk of an early death by up to 27%? So often we take this all or nothing mentality when it comes to exercise, working out. The truth is something is better than nothing. In fact, a lot better if you think about those numbers. So my doctor's prescription today, go ahead and throw some shoes on. Go out for a run or a walk this week if you can. Your future health will thank you, not just your physical health, but I think there's a big underreported mental health benefit to this.
Oh my goodness.
That when you start talking about longevity, I think the act of getting outside is probably just as important as the physical elements of going for a jog or a walk.
I mean, who doesn't feel better after a jog or a walk?
I think everybody, even if you didn't want to do it to begin with.
Exactly. You said Boy, I'm so glad I did that.
And
Absolutely.
I'll openly honest. My joints
Well, and that's
are not, they don't do well with running anymore. So, but a brisk walk, you know, a nice brisk walk, I'm all for it.
I'm so happy to hear this tip because I run 5 to 6 times a week. So maybe it's 27% times 6 for me, maybe? I don't think that's how it works.
Judy's going to live forever.
That's the plan. Really, one of my main reasons for running is I'm running away from the Grim Reaper. That is truly one of my top
well,
reasons.
if that's your motivation.
There is so much in this world we can't control, but one thing we can is our own mindset. So today's doctor prescription is to choose optimism. We can choose to think more positively. And I know that that's hard right now because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of negativity out there, and it's realistic. We're all scared and we don't necessarily know what's ahead. But still, we can change the way that we look at the world and look at our present moment. And I have a few important tips for you to try out today. The first thing is optimism starts with gratitude. So start your day with gratitude. Say out loud to your partner or your family 3 small things that you're grateful for today, or write them down in your journal. And spend at least 5 minutes a day just imagining a more positive future, perhaps as part of your mindfulness practice. Research has shown that this is beneficial in turning that negative thinking into a more positive one. And finally, when you do have negative thoughts, just know that it's normal to have those negative thoughts. And just ask yourself this question: is this thought accurate, complete, and balanced? So ask yourself that ABC question: accurate, balanced, and complete. If it's not, come up with a slightly different thought. And I like to use a tool called yes, but. So yes, acknowledge what's not going so well right now, but acknowledge something that you're doing or will do to change the situation. So yes, I lost my job, but I'm finding new ways to connect with my family, and I will look for another job opportunity whenever I can. And to close, I just want to thank everybody for being here today. My co-host, Dr. Batra, Dr. Ravina, Donna, and Anthony. And I thought that maybe we can just all go around and really quickly say one thing that we're grateful for today. Dr. Batra, you first.
Well, I'm grateful to be safer at home. And I think one quick tip is the way you frame things can certainly help your optimism. Rather than thinking about being stuck at home, think about it as being safer at home. And that's how the Los Angeles officials actually chose to name it. What are your other thoughts in terms of what you're grateful for, or how to reframe as optimism, Dr. Kular?
I'm grateful for my health, and I'm also grateful for my friends and my family, where they've really helped me through this critical time where I'm at the front line and I've broken down sometimes when I come home from work. I've had to rely on my friends and family through this critical time.
So true. Donna, what about you? What's one thing you're grateful for?
I'm so grateful that my family is healthy and friends, and I am grateful to see all of the helpers that are showing up in this world.
It's beautiful. And finally, Anthony, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for the access to fresh food and vegetables in this time of need. It's something that I am so lucky. I feel very fortunate to have that.